probably should start this way, probably actually. Hey there. So, I am going to be making some things with the green screen for the next couple of weeks for a project. I can't say what that project is because it's a super secret project and it includes a super secret thing because you know I love doing super secret things. So, the last thing we do before we move is going to be making these videos and stuff like that in the next month or so. And I needed green screen stuff. And I've always wanted like photo studio stuff, green screen, all this kind of stuff that you would need to do good green screen plus have good lighting. And so on Amazon, I found this set of material, or the set of products that had lights and the backdrops and the stands and everything. So I will link the product down below. It changes, and sometimes they're not available. Sometimes they go up in price, but there's like 1,000 of them on Amazon. So it kind of gives you a starting point to look for what you want, but read the descriptions and know exactly what comes with it, because a few of them won't have some of the soft boxes, or they won't have the umbrellas, or they won't come with all the fabric, things like that. So I will try to find one that has the most, and then you can use that as your guide from then on. But the main part about this how-to video, like you saw in the title, is how to make a floating head. Now, a lot of people like to do the crystal ball thing with Madame Leota from Haunted Mansion. Don't kill me. Don't come after me. Don't send your little goons after me. I have enough of those. I'm not a big Halloween Mansion fan. I really don't get it. It doesn't do anything for me. It's a cool. I like some of the backgrounds and some of the graphics and stuff like that. But the storyline and the stuff, it just doesn't do it for me. But the crystal ball effect is cool. And I know a lot of us like to do projections, and maybe you could use this for like a rules part of your cue line. You could have a floating head in a crystal ball, or just in a video somewhere. So this is kind of a cool way to incorporate maybe some of your characters, some of your haunt characters, or yourself as doing rules in a scene or whatever. You can make your own, picture frame type of thing. So I'm going to go over a little bit of the green screen stuff, and then a little bit of the editing stuff, and then we'll use a crystal ball as the thing for it, and then you can use that as kind of your guide as well. You'll need obviously film editing programs. I use Filmora. You'll also need to find some sort of a crystal ball that has they're based transparent backgrounds, or at least one that you can put the head inside of, and we're going to work on that as well. So this is kind of going to be a long how-to, and I may break it up into two different ones, but I'll probably just leave it as one. So if you're into this sort of thing, you'll probably watch the whole thing. If you're not, watch me make a butt of myself. I don't know. So let's start with tech and equipment that you need. One of the things that you need is one of these video camera. You could use a DSLR, you could use a GoPro, you could use a regular old video camera, you could use your cell phone. Obviously, in a cell phone, I always recommend landscape mode, just because you're going to get a lot of space to use, and most phones use more megapixels on a landscape thing than they do on a on the portrait mode. And also always use your rear cameras. Don't use your front cameras. They have less megapixels and less quality. Not so much on the really good brand new phones, but still the front ones on the front still have less. So always use your rear camera if you're using your cell phone. For this effect, you could easily get away with doing portrait mode and it'd be fine, but I just make it a habit of always doing landscape and everything so that I'm never not caught making a portrait video. So here is a couple of the things that I have used. So this is a softbox, and as you can tell, it has a diffuser on the front there. This is actually fabric, and it actually just folds right over the actual thing here. Let's see if I can get it out of the light there. So it's got this little ridge here, and then actually inside as well is reflective material. So you could use it without the softbox cover, and it would just be a really bright reflective light. This diffuses the light so there's no edges. Obviously you take this off, there's going to be some edges. It comes with stands, so you have this cool stand here that goes all the way up, and it's obviously adjustable. The system comes with two of these, and these are collapsible and everything. It actually fits in one of those bags. That's one of my photo bags, but it actually fits in this bag right here, and you can see some of the stuff there. It does come with bulbs, and it also comes with clips to use so it comes with a green screen. It also comes with a white screen and a black screen. This green screen is really thin. It comes from China, so they cheaped out on the fabric. So if you're going to use green screen type of stuff, you want to put it on a wall like this. Let's see if I can get my finger in there. There it is. There is my hand. You want to put it on like a white wall like this, or you want to get a really heavy fabric like a curtain, like a black curtain or something like that, to put behind it. I don't recommend putting the black behind this, just because it basically you could put the black and the white behind it and it would really thicken up this, but it might make that green a little bit darker, but it's fine because it's still gonna be one color. Prefer it to be with no wrinkles, because you will get shadows that way. Most film editing programs will not have to worry about those little wrinkles. I always go onto the ground, so that if I'm ever doing something with my feet, I can always get my feet on there. And so this is actually in my bedroom. There's my clothes right there. So it's just a corner of the room that I decided to move everything out. Since we're moving out, I needed to organize and get stuff anyways. So when you're in here, see, I don't know, that's as far back as I can go. So you kind of see you've got this, so this is the umbrella style, and what the umbrella style does is you put the light out at it and then the light reflects back, and this is actually bringing light up over the top and down here so that it comes against, because I was getting some shadows, so you look like back here the shadow is directly behind my hand. You can barely see any of it, and if you go like this, there's no shadow there at all. You can barely see a shadow, and the film editing program does a really good job of grabbing that to where you wouldn't see, and it obviously depends on where your camera is mounted as well. So for this effect, as you can tell, I've got the camera, I got the tripod right here. So we have, it's actually pretty bright. I would also say that, I probably have it a little too close for me on this one. I was testing it for something else, so maybe push these lights back. I don't have a lot of room in this area, but I probably, for the main filming, I am gonna do this. I am gonna, push these lights back a little bit. Maybe some of the more advanced products will have a dimmer on there, so you could dim these down a little bit, but this is a little close. I'm not this white. I don't get out much, but I'm not this pale. So if you needed this much light, this is perfect then. But obviously, as you can tell, I have on a black shirt with different colors and everything like this. If I were to film like this, all of this would come out in the thing and it would look really bad. And the only thing that would be gone is the green screen behind me, but you would still see my body. So that's where a different product comes in. Now, this will not impress your significant other. So this is a full green screen suit. And as you can tell, it is a different color. I found that it didn't matter. My film editing program, I think I selected this background color, and it completely took out this one too. A little bit of tweaking on the tolerances, and we'll show you that in the editing part. But it took it out very, very well, to the point where what I needed it for, it's not going to matter where there was a little bit of gray. But I actually ended up getting that gray out. So this, if you wanted to do your full head and just have your head on here, these wood floors are not comfortable. There's kind of two ways to put this suit on. You could put it on backwards so that your face is in this part right here, which probably would be the best if you're going to do a full head. Like if you're going to do, let's say you were going to do puppets, or you were going to do, you were going to hold something up over here that you didn't want your body to be at, or you were holding something up like a stuffed animal or another person and you wanted to manipulate them, you would need to wear this so that you can't be seen in the shot. So a lot of Hollywood things use these where the, where the people will be in these, and they'll have those like white dots on them and stuff like that. That's for motion tracking, and they can then put a alien or something else over that person, but use their body movements. So for this, you could get away with making some sort of fabric like the capes for like hair cutting. You might even be able to get those in green on Amazon, but you could get some sort of a cape that would just kind of fold from here, from your neck, go all the way around, have some sort of clasp or Velcro, and go all the way down, and then just cover from, you know, from your chest up and your shoulders and stuff, so that when you're setting like this, there's nothing there. You could probably get away with finding a green t-shirt as well. I had this was originally going to be a Riddler costume. I was going to get this, and I was going to, print vinyl transfers of the question marks, and I was going to wear this as the Riddler. You gotta wear underwear and pants or whatever. So it's this one's very, very tight on me. So nothing to the imagination. That's why I said your spouse will not be impressed. Maybe they will. I don't know. That's you. So for this, though, we're going to wear this, and we're going to keep the head off so that then you can have just the floating head. So we will come right back and we'll do that. Okay, so as you can tell, it's very form-fitting. It's easier if you're alone to do this with the zipper in front, because you try to zip up the back. Girls can't even do it. So, it's get the size of your shirt, because this is a large and it's a little too tight, but it actually might not. Well, okay, so I take that back. Actually, don't get your size, get maybe one size smaller, because you want it to be tight with no, I mean, this is pretty darn, there's no wrinkles, and when I go like this, there's no wrinkles in here. If you were to get regular size, there might be some wrinkles in there, but again, the film editing system is going to take care of that for the most part. So what I would do is I'd make sure that this is zipped up to where you don't see any of your neck. Kind of make the hood flat back as good as you can. You also can, actually that's a better idea. Like I said, I never make these videos with any sort of script in mind. If you're doing the floating head, put the hood, if you can. It's very hard because it's kind of slippery fabric, so it doesn't really grab well, especially with the hands. So put the hood inside the back, and then you don't have a whole lot of wrinkles in here. I still have one here. Still make sure the tag goes in too. Just kind of roll it in there. By the way, it's very hard to use your cell phone on this part, so don't worry about using your cell phone. So now that you have this, you basically can sit there, have a script ready to go, and let's see if we can figure out something to say. I always try to look forward at the thing, because if you're looking like this or whatever, that's how it's going to come out. So you would say something like, "When entering the haunted house, please silence your cell phones. No flash photography is allowed. The actors will not touch you as long as you don't touch them." So now that we have that super silly, terrible rendition of rules of the haunt, you will take this footage that you just did of that, and you will take it to your film editing process, or your film editing process program. Let's go.
All right, so as you can see here, we have a Wondershare Filmora. This is number 11, and you start with going to your import your media files, and I have so many folders, so don't get all excited. So you can find your folder, you can find where you put your movies at, and you can see I've got 2 different movies in here, but we're gonna go with this one because that's the one that I made with this video. So once you have your video loaded in your timeline, what we're going to do is, for this specific one, we're going to match to media. We're going to go down to where we actually start the green screen stuff. All right, so we're going to cut that. You select your thing. You hit the delete button after you've selected where you want to do it. So what you'll do is you'll double click on the actual video here, and it will bring up basically the properties or the editing parts of those videos. You will hit this chroma key button, and as you can tell, it already took out all the grays. One thing you can, or all the colors. One thing you can do is you can take this and you can select a spot on the person or on the background. And I think what we'll do is, since we want to make sure that I'm not seen at all, we want to go like that. Now, what we also want to do is we want to mess with these offset and tolerances and edge thicknesses. So you can do that really easily by just sliding it ever so slowly. So 16. 16 looks like I have no body. Your tolerance is pretty much going to be the same, and you can leave that as is. Now, the feathering and the thickness, if you go all the way up, it adds a pretty big bit around my head. This will also, if let's say you did have some shadows behind you, you could actually take those down and see how it's kind of shrinking my head, and I've even lost a bit of my ear. You can do that to kind of get rid of that very slight edge of a shadow. -2 seems to be about the same with the feathering as well. All this does is kind of fade the end, all the edges. So what that'll do is that will allow, if you were, this might actually look good for like a crystal ball look, because then you would be kind of fuzzy around the edges. And obviously you can take it all back so that it is crisp. So we're going to go ahead and leave that as is, as 2. And we're going to say, okay. Now, the other thing you can do is you can crop this. So there's this little button right here, this little crop, or you can go into, editing and crop to get the right kind of shape. You click custom down there in that little drop down, and we're going to make this. We're going to make it just around my head. And what you want to do is you always want to make sure that when you're doing this, you want to run through the clip and make sure that your head doesn't move out of it. See how, like, right there, my head went out that way? So let's go. You want to bring this box to all the extremes that your face or your head will go. Obviously, it'll be better if your head stays in one spot. I tried to do it where I tried to get my face back in the thing, and it's really hard. So I just gave up. So we will cut back here where I stopped doing. Look at that. See, you got the hand right in front of the face. Whoa. Once you have that cut like that, what that will allow you to do is now everything behind your head and behind this square will be in the shot. So let's do this. Okay, so quickly, and you would have to do this on your own for whatever application you want to make this floating head for. You will, like, I found this creepy seance room in this crystal ball. It ended up being a snow globe, but it works. So what we want to do is we want to make this fit into the crystal ball. Now, what I'm going to try here is I want to actually move the crystal ball up. Oh, see, now I'm inside the crystal ball. So we're going to delete this empty track here. Boom. So now we're going to extend this out so that we get all the way out to this. And so right now, you get this.
Please silence your cell phones. No flash photography is allowed. The actors will not touch you as long as you don't touch them.
That's creepy. So right here, I will put in the finished product of this part here.
When entering the haunted house, please silence your cell phones. No flash photography is allowed. The actors will not touch you as long as you don't touch them. No food or drink is allowed in the attraction. Please do not touch the props, as they will ooze blood all over you, and you will probably die. Sign this waiver. It probably won't do anything, but it'll make you not sue us. Also, yes, it's scary inside, and yes, there are clowns. You paid for this. Be scared. Don't be that guy. Enjoy.
So once you have this all done up the way you want to have, you could do all sorts of things with this. You can, in the transform part, you can move them around a little bit if you want to. The compositing, I don't know. You can blend it. You can obviously make it a little less, You know, you can make it a little darker, a little lighter. You can go into the color situations, and then you can change the different colors, you know, the brightness, things like that. So you can make them a little, you know, make me not so bright on there, in there. You got all kinds of little things. You also can make it to where I fade in and out of that scene. You can also do that down here in the timeline as well. You can also reverse it. You can make it faster or slower, all that kind of stuff. You can actually maintain the audio pitch, but make it go faster and all that. So there's lots of little things you can do with this Filmora program. But after you're done with this part, because let's say, well, first of all, we need to add a transition to this. So we're gonna make it be that I appear in the ball as I'm talking. So watch. Oh yeah, yeah. So we want the, yeah.
When entering the haunted house, please silence your cell phones. No flash photography is allowed. The actors will not touch you as
So as you can see, I faded into that scene. You know, one probably thing you'd want to do is maybe start this a little bit long, you know, further away. I don't know why it's, oh, there it goes. Okay. So now when you start playing it, you have this creepy
when
ball.
entering the haunted house.
Ooh, there
please silence your cell phone.
This is, you know, kind of your basic film editing type of thing. Obviously, you have your layers on your timeline here. You have your base layer. You have something in front of that. Think of it as, you know, layers of a cake. And you want the face behind the globe, so the globe would be on top of the face, as it would be in this video right here. So once you're done with that, you would export it. And you would say, oh, see, I already made, and you know, floating head, and then you export it. And so what that will do is that will create a video for you with a floating head.
So that is your kind of a long how-to on how to make a floating head with a green screen and all of the things that go in it. It's a little more advanced in that you would need some of the tech, you know, and the equipment, you know, with the green screen and some of the lights and stuff. You can do that effect with just regular lamps and stuff like that. Just when you do it, you need to have several light sources. You can't just have one in front of you, because then you're going to have shadows. So you want to have at least one on either side of the camera, and at an angle so that they kind of cross. You want lights to cross. You don't want lights to go straight dead on, because you're still going to have a line of a shadow. Even though it won't look like it when you do the green screening, it can actually affect it. So if you can use lamp shades, you know, or lamps with or without shades. Try different things. But if you want to buy these type of things, I think I'll find out what it is on there. I don't want to say what it is on the exit part if I already put it up on the first part. So, you know, but it's not that expensive to buy those things if you're going to do this more often. If you're a haunted house, you probably should have this anyways, because why not? You know, and I'm sure, or your marketing team probably already has this, or the people you have make videos for you. You know, several of these you know, companies now are out there making marketing videos for you, and they have green screen stuff. So, but yeah, it's, you know, if you want to do this dirty yourself, you know, just get your film editing program, and there's some free ones out there as well. And I'll put some of those in the description down below. And, you know, get some free, you know, pictures off the internet to make a cool background, you know, or you can shoot your own video and have a crystal ball in there, you know, that you can then, you know, put the video, you know, put your face into that crystal ball. Just, you know, if you want to move around the room, that's fine, but just know that the crystal ball has to be generally in the same spot the whole time, because it'll be hard to motion track that with the face. Yeah, just have some fun with it, and, you know, just, you know, make a floating head. And of course, you can wear a mask. You can have your character be that, you know, things like that. And you can do lots of stuff with green screen. You know, you can have your full character suit in the green screen moving around and things like that. But the floating head is kind of a cool idea. So you can replace it. You can replace Madame Leota. I know, sacrilegious, I know. With your own head. And you can put it on your display in your home, you know, for parties, or, you know, for the home haunt, you know, for the home haunt displays. You can put it out there for people to, you know, be creeped out that Troy's in his yard too, and his face is out there talking to people. So, all right, well, haunt on.